What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another Spotlight series by yours truly, ACK. Again today, kind of weird, just because we have another friend here instead of just a random artist. We have Alexa here. She is
Hello.
actually a good friend of mine, and we actually released our first ever single together, which is really cool to have out there on like Spotify and Apple Music. So, Alexa, how are you today?
I'm doing well. How are you, Andrew?
I'm all right. I don't know. It feels like every day is the same at this point, and it all blends together. But
It
we're
is,
making it through it.
yeah.
So anyway, so before we get into like all the questions and stuff, why don't you just kind of like tell the people like a little bit about you just so we can get a feel for who you are?
Okay, so my name is Alexa, and I'm from Connecticut. I'm 20 years old. I'm gonna be 21 soon. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm Polish. That's a fun fact about me. And I love traveling. Obviously, I love music. It's a huge passion of mine. Um, yeah, I've been doing music since I was about like 7 or 8 years old. So
Awesome. So yeah, no, like I said, I was actually telling Alexa earlier, like it's just weird to do it with like a friend just because like we talk all the time and like share stuff and like work on stuff. So it's just kind of like weird like doing it with a friend because like you're supposed to make it formal, but
but like
at
you already know everything.
exactly. I already know everything, but that's why
Yeah.
we're doing this so more people can get to know who Alexa is. So anyway, so I'll just gonna jump right into the first question. Is how did music start for you? Like where did it all start? Like did you obviously said you started singing at an early age and stuff like that. So like how did that all kind of come about?
So, I mean, I've been surrounded by music pretty much my whole life, from an early age because my dad is a musician and he had a famous band in Poland, like a famous rock band, but then he kind of dropped that and he moved here. But he was playing like Aerosmith and Queen for me when I was really little. He would even play like Metallica and stuff like that. So I was always just surrounded by music and it was always around me. Um, and he pretty much encouraged me to start singing because I would kind of like sing here and there, like kind of hum to myself. It wasn't really a big deal, whatever.
Yeah.
But he suggested that I try The Power of Love by Celine Dion. And
Ooh,
that's actually the first song I like legitimately tried to sing, like
mhm.
with an instrumental all the way through. And I think I was 7 or 8 when I did that, and it kind of just started from there, like, I just started singing a bunch of covers, and it's funny because my dad said I sucked, like, the first time I did it. He was like, "Wow, this girl's never gonna be a singer." But, yeah, I just kept going with it, and yeah.
That's awesome. No, I mean that's a tall order, Celine Dion,
I
especially for
know, when I was 8 years old.
especially, yeah, when you were 8 years old, that's just, like, such a
Yeah,
tall order, like, "Hey, just do Celine Dion real quick," like,
I know. It's
that is
funny
so
that that was, like, the first song I did.
yeah, no, so, that kinda, like, leads into my next question a little bit, you kinda already, like, touched on it, is, like, your dad kinda, like, pushed you a little bit, but was it also, like, kinda, like, on the same aspect that, like, this was just something that, like, you wanted to, like, keep doing and, like, enjoyed? Like, so obviously he inspired you a little bit to do it. But,
Yeah.
at the same time, like, is this just something, like, that you found enjoyment in doing to keep, like, working on and stuff?
For sure, like, I definitely knew, like, from the first moment I started singing, I was like, "Oh, shit," like, I actually like this, you know? And, I was also going to concerts when I was, like, really young, like 10, 11 years old, like, I
Yeah.
saw Demi Lovato, I've seen, like, some of my dad's bands that he listens to, like, I've seen Metallica, Dream
Mhm.
Theater,
Oh,
so, like, it's just like I knew that music was gonna be a big part of my life. I didn't
mhm,
necessarily know that, like, I would continue singing, but I knew that it was something I enjoyed, so I kept going with it.
mhm,
And, actually, when I was 12, my dad kind of, like, pushed me to enter into this, like, Kid Rock competition that was local,
mhm.
and I won it.
Oh, really?
So that, like, really boosted my confidence, and I think that's what, like, performing in front of a live audience, that's what really, like, gave me the enjoyment for doing it, and that's what kept me going, like, the connection with an audience in a live performance is just, like it's it's a feeling you can't explain, you know?
No, exactly. No, I
Yeah.
know exactly how you feel, so, like, I, like, totally understand that. So what kind of instruments do you play? Do you play any? I mean, I already know what you play, but what instruments do you play?
I play well, I took piano lessons for a very long time,
Mhm,
but, I kind of, like, went off with that. I play a little bit of piano, and I do play a little bit of guitar,
mhm.
but I wouldn't really consider myself an instrumentalist. Like, if I wanna learn a song on an instrument, I
Mhm.
will,
Right.
but I'm definitely more of a vocalist.
Alright, no, fair enough. I mean, like, I've definitely, like, seen you play the guitar, like, from, like, stuff that you sent me and stuff, so I definitely think you're a very good guitar player, for sure.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I'm very good. I would say I'm, like, decent.
Yeah, you're, like, slightly above average, we'll say.
Okay,
I
yeah,
mean, I'll give
fair.
that to you.
Yeah.
Um, so kinda the next thing I wanna, like, get into is your songwriting, because obviously, like, I know you have a lot of cool songs, and obviously you have one that's dropping. Obviously, when this interview comes out, people already know that your song's out. Um, so how do you kinda, like, what's your creative process like when it comes to writing a song? Like, do you obviously do it from emotions? Like, I mean, I know a lot of my stuff comes from, like, emotions and stuff like that. Just kinda go through, like, your whole process on writing a song.
I feel like that's a difficult question, honestly, because, I usually start from a melody,
Mhm,
honestly, rather than lyrics. Like, sometimes I'll just randomly have, like, a melody come into my head. I'll just, like, hum it in my head, and I'm like, "Oh, wait, that's a cool melody." And then or I'll be, like, on the guitar messing around, and I'll just, like, figure out some chord arrangement that I really like,
mhm,
and then I kind of finalize that, and, like, I hum the melody, but then I go on top of that and I write my lyrics, and I don't know, it's interesting to me because, like, my lyrics do come from a very emotional place.
mhm,
I mean, a lot of the stuff I write is about, like, heartbreak and love and all that,
yeah,
but, it's just interesting that I always start with, like, a melody. Very rarely do I start with lyrics and then add a melody on top of that.
yeah,
I don't know why, it's just easier for me to do it that way. And the song I have coming out now, it's well, in a few days, it's called Oblivion, and that's, like it's less of an emotional place than, like, other stuff I've written
mhm,
because I wanted it to have, like, a party song vibe. It's
exactly.
kind of about just, like, letting loose and being reckless and wild and, like, enjoying the night.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, I mean, that's the best I can explain my creative process.
No, fair enough. No, and I
Yeah.
know it's just cool how some artists can just like do that kind of stuff because like some just start with the writing and they just write the words down and then they go for the melodies. But then
Mhm.
I've interviewed other artists who kind of do the same thing as you. Like they'll hear like this beat out there, they'll hear this melody and they'll be like, oh, I can work with this. And then like
Right.
they'll kind of build off of the melody instead
Mhm.
of building off the words. And then also kind of just like emotions and stuff. Like that's where a lot of my songwriting comes from, and that's obviously where some of yours comes from as well.
Yeah, for
And it's
sure.
just cool for people to get that out there because hopefully at some point like that can maybe help someone else down the road with those emotions and like going through those kind of things.
Yep.
um so obviously you have this song coming out. We released our first ever single. I kind of want to touch on that real quick.
Mhm.
Just because like that was our first time like getting something out there with our names. Like what were your I know because we had some trouble with releasing it at first.
Yeah.
We didn't realize it came out. So it was supposed to come out on like a Friday, but I think it was like Tuesday. Like it was like a Tuesday night at like 12 a.m. I think I
Yeah,
was
and
I,
just
I like
texted me like
FaceTimed you like real quick and I was like the song's out. Like it's just I was like I had no idea it was out.
yeah.
Um so kind of like what were your like emotions and like feelings like just having something out there like for the first time like with your name on it?
I was really proud of Lonely. Like, I think especially since we did that, like, ourselves with no help. I mean, you had your friend,
Right.
Phil, I
Yeah,
think,
Phil Luna,
on the piano.
very
Yeah.
talented pianist.
Yes, definitely. I was proud of myself for the fact that I recorded the vocals myself, cause
Mhm.
like, before that point, I've never done that. Like,
Yeah.
I never used, like, GarageBand or any sort of, like, vocal recording thing, and I'm super bad with technology, so for me, it was like, "Wow, like, I can actually do this," you know?
Right.
Um, So I was really proud of Lonely, and I'm proud of how far it came. Like, I think we got a decent amount of plays and streams for
No,
it being like our first song, you know?
for sure.
Yeah, and I was definitely happy to have your lyrics on that too,
Mhm.
because like the lyrics and the melody just made sense together. Like,
Right.
yeah,
Yeah, no, like, I remember, like, we were kinda, like, playing with it, and then, like, I sent that melody over to you, and you were like, "Damn, this actually, like, kinda goes, like, hand in hand with each other, like, it actually, like, really flows."
yeah,
And then obviously Phil did a great job with kinda doing, like, the bridge and, like, the pre-chorus and stuff like that, just because those were kind of some of the minor things we were missing at first.
hmm,
Um, and, like, yeah, I was just, like, super it was, like, super cool just to have something with our names out there and just, like, to be like, "Hey, I have a song out in Spotify."
yeah,
And it's just like it was like at first, like, I just didn't have any words for it. And then obviously, like we said, like we had a lot of support from friends and family and fans and stuff like that that were supporting it, and we got plenty of streams on it, and I'm proud of it,
me
honestly,
too.
just as our first
Yeah,
project.
yeah, and
And
like the
then
fact that it was the first song for both of us, that was
exactly.
really like that was a huge deal.
No, exactly. Just like because that was like the kind of like our start, like to our like not like the start to our music career because we've been doing it for a while, but just kind of like getting our names out there finally to people like that
Exactly.
haven't even heard us before. Because we were getting streams from like all over the place too.
I know, that was crazy.
Like we were
That
getting
was
streams
nuts.
from like over in like the UK and Germany and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
obviously, I know you have family out in places too, and then I have friends like all over the place as well. So it was just cool to
yeah,
like see all that stuff and see all those people doing it.
it was really dope.
And then obviously, so you have this new song coming out. Obviously, Lonely's already out there. Um, and obviously, you do a lot of covers on TikTok and on Instagram and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, what would you say makes you different compared to like a lot of these other artists out there trying to make it? Like, what makes you Alexa?
That's a hard question. Um, I don't know, with this song I'm releasing now, Oblivion, like, I'm trying so it's definitely a pop song, right? But it's kind of it's kind of like a dark pop sound, and I kinda wanna, like, stick with that sound, like, if you read the lyrics and, like, overall just the beat, it is pretty dark, and I think that's kinda what sets me apart from other people is I'm trying to, like, create this new wave of, like, pop music, um, so that's, like, the main thing I would say, yeah, I mean, I'm really just trying to get my name out there more than anything.
No, right, for sure. And I mean, that's like what I'm trying to do at some point too, is just like with all these showcases that I'm doing in the interviews. I just want to get my name out there and do all that stuff as well.
And you're also getting other people's names out there by doing that, which is
No,
awesome.
exactly. And that's like kind of like the biggest thing for me is because that's like what makes me happy is like I want to help all these other artists because obviously I can't sing. If I sing, all these windows in here will start breaking and all of that stuff. But even like just with my songwriting, like I just want to help other artists like you, like because obviously you're just so versatile and you can do a lot of different things. And like I want people to know who Alexa is because you're a good friend of mine and I want to help you out with that stuff. So that's just kind of the stuff that like makes me happy as well.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I
No,
really
of course. So kind of getting near like the end a little bit here. What are your goals as an artist? Obviously, where do you want to keep going with your music, and what else can we expect from you down the road?
Eventually, I mean, once this song is released, I do wanna release, like, a whole original album. Um, I'm not sure exactly when that would be or what would be on it, but I know that down the road I do wanna do that, and I'm just trying to, like I said, promote myself as much as I can and get my name out there. I mean, I'd love to be, like, famous one day, but, um, we'll see where that goes. I'm never gonna stop, though, like, I'm never gonna stop singing and making music and writing songs. It's what I love, and even if I don't get recognized for it, I can at least say that I tried, you know? And
Exactly.
I do it for myself too, you know? Like,
Mhm.
it's my passion, it's what I love, and I don't need to get paid or have recognition for it. If I do, that's great, if that happens, obviously,
Right.
but it's just something I love to do for myself,
Mm.
so Yeah.
No, and that's like one of the like honestly, out of all the interviews I've done so far, like when I asked that question, honestly, like I'm not even gonna lie, because obviously I know probably a lot of these questions like just kind of come off the top of your head, like with answers and stuff. That was probably one of the best answers we've had, just
Oh,
because that
awesome.
because that just like connects with me so much.
Yeah.
Um, so without further ado, we're just gonna kind of jump into the song here. Obviously you kind of touched up on it a little bit, but do you want to kind of tell us a little bit about it real quick before we play it?
I mean, I think I basically covered everything. It's with my friend. His stage name is Windstar, and he does like Polish music. He does like disco polo music, and he actually sent me the beat for this song, and I came up with the melody and lyrics. I just like did it all in one shot. It was like 3 hours, and I was up till 3 in the morning, and I was on a roll with that. I just like wrote everything down. I recorded it so I had it. And then I went to his little studio and we recorded it there. And yeah, we finalized it and I'm really excited about it. Like I'm super proud of this and I'm proud of like the lyrics, the melody, everything. So, yeah,
Awesome. So without further ado, let's take a listen to this real quick.
awesome. You should turn it up.
That is awesome. I love that. Like especially
Thank
when it
you.
drops and then the chorus kicks in is just so cool.
Yeah, I love it too. Like honestly, I can't stop listening to it. I just love it.
No, when you like sent me before like the final product was done, when you sent it to me, like I was jamming to it like every day. Like I was just listening to it at least once a day.
Dude, that's awesome.
It's just
I love
so
it.
cool. No, so again, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. It's just a really cool thing to actually like get this out there and do this. So I appreciate it.
Thank you for
Um
interviewing me. I
yeah.
appreciate it.
No, thank you. So just kind of if you want to just let the people know like where we can kind of find you and obviously what streaming platforms the song's going to be on and stuff like that.
So my song Oblivion will be out on March 31st and it's going to be available on Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music, Amazon Music, a bunch of other platforms, honestly. And my Instagram, if you want to find me there, is Alexa, and that's ALEXAA underscore Maya, MAYA. And I'm also on TikTok and I do some covers on there. Um, what even is my TikTok? Oh, it's the same thing, except the Maya has an extra A. So,
Okay.
yeah,
Cool. So yeah, again, everyone, please go check out Alexa. Go check out her new song. Even check out our collab that we did together on Lonely. And just again, thank you so much, Alexa.
thank you.
Alrighty, take care.
Thanks, you too.